Hey, what's up, guys? This is DaZeD here, and today we're going to do something a little bit different from my channel that we normally do. Normally, we do demo reviews, we do Counter-Strike strats and analysis, and obviously we do a lot of vlogs and things like that. But today we're going to do some hardware reviews. Okay, I'm going to discuss mice, different mice, what the preferences for certain mice are, and we're going to be discussing 4 mice in particular. We're going to talk about the Final Mouse 2015, the DeathAdder Chroma, the Steelseries Rival, and we're going to talk about the Zowie ZA11. Now, all these mice are fantastic in their own right, and we're going to get down to it and discuss what makes each mouse good, what I don't like about each mouse, and things like that. We're also going to delve a little bit into mouse pads for about a minute and a half, and I'll tell you why I like cloth mouse pads without much friction. Now, before we get to this, I just want to put a little bit of a disclaimer out there that not every mouse is created equal for each individual person. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is if I rate a mouse a 9 out of a 10, generally it's going to fit my hand shape. I'm going to have a good time with it. I'm going to enjoy the mouse gates. I'm going to like the lift off distance. I'm going to like how the mouse 1 and mouse 2 feel, the mouse wheel, etc., etc. I'm going to like all those things. Okay? Now, just because I rated a 9 out of a 10 doesn't mean that it's going to be a 9 out of 10 for you. You're going to see I like a lot of things about the Rival, but there's one specific quirk about it that makes me not able to use the mouse. So I simply can't use that mouse. I cannot get used to it. And I'll tell you what that is later. But what I mean by that is just because I rate a mouse really highly doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be the mouse for you. My preferences might not be the same as yours. You have to find your own individual mouse that you enjoy using. Now, all these mice, like I said, are very, very good in their own right, but they all have slight differences between each other, and those slight differences can amount to a very large difference at the end of the day. These differences that we're going to talk about are going to be lift-off distance, how sensitive the mouse 1 and mouse 2 is, the mouse feet and mouse skates, the shape of the mouse, the weight of the mouse, the feel of the mouse, and all these things. The mouse cord, for instance, and yeah. So we'll talk about all the differences between the mices, which one you might prefer. I feel like I have a pretty average-sized hand. My hand isn't huge or anything like that. I could like palm a basketball to the side, bring it down a little bit. Not like I have a gigantic hand or anything like that. I don't have a small hand, so it's pretty average sized hand, I think. So I think like I'm a good test dummy, for the mice, because I don't have like some super crazy large hand that I can only use a certain type of mouse, right? Or I don't have a really small hand and can only use really small mice, right? So I think I'm a good tester for these mice, and I think I can give a pretty unbiased, good review of them. Hope you guys are going to enjoy this. If you guys do enjoy this, don't be hesitant to put a comment that you want to see more of these videos. I haven't done many of them, and if you guys enjoy it and you really like it, I could definitely do more. All right, so now without further ado, let's get into it and go. Before we get to talking about the mice, we're going to talk about mouse pads for a second, all right? Because the mouse pad that you're going to use is going to heavily change what type of mouse you're going to prefer, believe it or not. I'm the type of guy, I do not like friction, okay? I like my mouse and my mouse pads have as little friction as possible, which is why I use the Zowie GSR. I freaking love this mouse pad, okay? Another really good mouse pad that I like that's very low friction is the QCK Plus Team Pads. Now, what do I mean by that? You get the QCK Plus, and then it has the coating over it, like a team pad, like Fnatic, EG, the Dota 2 pad, things like that. And those mouse pads are awesome, like almost no friction. Same with the Zowie GSR. I actually like the Zowie GSR the most, though. This mouse pad's incredible. The only problem with it is it costs like $40, so it costs a lot more than other mouse pads. I haven't had to clean it or anything yet, so I don't know how that is, if it's going to be fine after I wash it. But yeah, so mouse pads, I prefer very low friction on my mice. I don't like any friction at all. I like to feel like I have complete control over my mouse and or my mouse and my crosshair, right? Like absolute complete control. That's what I like. It stops when I want it to stop, and it goes when I want it to go, and it goes quickly when I want to like flick shot and things like that. Now, with the mouse pads like a QCK Heavy, for instance, or a lot of hard pads and stuff like that, some of them will have more friction, some of them will have less. The reason I don't like hard pads is very simple. Fucks up your mouse feet, man. After a while, after like you use a mouse for like 3 months, you're gonna feel like you need new mouse feet. With a cloth pad that doesn't have much friction, after playing 12 hours a day for like a year, maybe you need to change mouse feet, maybe. And that's maybe only a placebo effect that gets in your head, right? Like, I don't even know if you really need to. I feel like I need to. So I usually change my mouse every like 6 to 8 months, but that's literally me like playing 12 hours a day. And it might just be a placebo effect because I like the feel of a new mouse. But anyways, so for me, I don't like the hard pad. I feel like it fucks up the mouse feet, you know, and after like 3 months, you just need a new mouse because the mouse feet get all fucked up, or you need to buy new mouse feet and things like that. So with all these mice, we're going to be talking about using it on a Zowie GSR because that's the mouse pad I'm using. That's what I've been using the past couple months. All right, now you guys want to see my setup. Here we go. Very messy desk. Push all my stuff to the left. 3 monitors, 3 BenQs, Zowie GSR, Black Widow, another Benny. That's XSplit while I'm recording the software. This is my chair, etc., etc. Now that you nosy guys have seen my setup, let's talk about the first mouse that we're going to review, and that is going to be the Final Mouse 2015. You guys saw I was using it on my computer, and now I actually have another one. And let's talk about this mouse and what I like about it and what I don't like about it. Okay, so first we're going to talk about what I don't like about it. Okay, first things first. Frayed cord. Frayed cord's a no-no. All right, I don't like frayed cords. All right, or sorry, threaded cords. Excuse me. The reason I don't like the threaded cords though is because they can get frayed. You know, a lot of friction on the desk, and like I have a wooden desk, and these cords after like 5-6 months always get fucked up. They split apart, get frayed, and it just causes a lot of unnecessary friction. Remember, friction's a no-no. I like my shit like an air hockey table. All right, I don't like that shit. All right, second thing I don't like about it, Dpi button. Shouldn't be here. It should be on the bottom of the mouse. Okay. Third thing I don't like about it, mouse 4 and 5 buttons, very hard to comfortably press with your thumb. And really, that's about it. The only other thing I would change is that after using the ZA11, the best mouse feet are on the ZA11. That is the best mouse feet, the best mouse skates. These I would rate like an 8 out of 10. They don't have any friction or anything, but I think those Zowie mouse feet are like the best. I think that should be the industry standard for mouse feet. I think those are incredible. Remember, it's preference though, preference. Anyways, that's what I don't like about it. But again, the mouse speed I rate an 8 out of 10. Now let's talk about what I do like, okay? Sensor. This and the Zowie mouse have the best sensor in the industry by far. The pixel by pixel accuracy is insane. I've tested this mouse, gone left to right on my mouse pad very, very slowly, swiped as fast as I could many, many, many times. It lands on the very same pixel every single time on this mouse and the Zowie one. So, big plus to that. Second plus, the weight. This is the lightest mouse I have ever used. Very, very, very lightweight. And I really, really like that. I really enjoy that a lot. Okay. Third thing I like, you could breathe. Okay? Your hand after like long sessions doesn't get like cramped up or sweaty or anything like that because the shape is very ergonomic and it breathes. Like I don't get sweaty or anything like that. So that I like a lot as well. I have no issues with the mouse 1 or mouse 2. They're not too sensitive. They're not sensitive enough. The mouse wheel's fine. My you know, bunny hopping and things like that has no effect on it. And yeah, so overall, the main points is fantastic sensor, very, very lightweight, and good for long gaming sessions. And this is why I rate this mouse probably like a 9 out of 10 is what I would rate it. If they could change those issues that I talked about, the bad, I think I would probably give it like a 10 out of 10. So we'll see if they ever change that. But yeah, 9 out of 10 for now. Here's the overall shape. Here's the bottom of it. Here's the top. As you can see, it has like a candy coating type coating on top. On the side, it has the plastic type feeling. Over here, it has the grip for your thumb. Right, and then mouse 4 and mouse 5 and more plastic here. So yeah, that's the overview of the Final Mouse 2015 9.0. Out of 10 is what I rate it. I like it a lot. It's my preferred mouse right now. All right, guys, now we're going to talk about the Steelseries Rival. So let's first talk about what I don't like about it, okay? The shape. I cannot get used to the shape. I cannot use this mouse. And the reason I can't use this mouse, I know it sounds weird, but actually a lot of people have had this issue. That have told me, you know, when I streamed and I told them about this issue, I've had the same thing. And this mouse is unusable for me because of this, and I can't get used to it. When I swipe left and I do a hard left, the mouse is shaped in a way, for whatever reason, that look how I hold it, right? Look how close my skin is to like underneath it. It goes like that, and it underlaps, and my skin on my palm actually gets caught underneath it, believe it or not. And this is actually a pretty common issue for the mouse for whatever reason. It must be the shape of it, and a lot of people have that issue because I stream and I tell them the issue. And a lot of people are like, yeah, I have that same issue, man. I can't use the mouse because of it. Gave this mouse a lot of time, okay? Used it for like a week straight for probably around 50 hours. Still could not get used to it. Another thing I couldn't get used to it, when I would swipe right, okay, my mouse would go up like that, my crosshair. I have no idea why. Couldn't get used to that either. So for whatever reason, I just could not get used to it. Now, mouse feet are okay. I would rate them like 8 out of 10. The otherwise, the shape of the mouse is good. You know, it's comfortable. It has that candy coating, feel on top with the grips on the left and the right. And then the mouse 4 and mouse 5 are nicely placed. Mouse wheel's fine. Sensor's decent. I would give the sensor like an 8 out of 10. It's not as good as the Zowie or the Final Mouse sensor, but it is up there. It's obviously a good sensor, just not quite as good. Another problem I have with it though is that these things fall off, right? This thing right here literally falls off a lot. Like I'll be gaming and this thing will just fall off. This thing right here, it'll just fall off, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, there's just something on my mouse pad. I hit it and I'm like, what the hell? The mouse is literally falling apart. So I really wanted to like this mouse. I really wanted to use it. You know, I gave it a fair shot. Gave it like an entire week, man. And I really wanted to like it because Olaf Meister uses it. He's fucking best player in the game, in my opinion. But I just could not get used to it, man. I'm going to rate this mouse probably like a 7 out of 10, maybe a 7.5 out of 10. You know, I just could not get used to a lot of these different issues that I have with it. Little bit heavier than I'd like as well. Little bit too much friction on it. Just fucks up my wrist just like a little bit, you know, just puts a little bit too much, you know, pressure on it or whatever. For those really long gaming sessions. Anyways, that's Steelseries Rival. 7.5, 8 out of 10, something in there. Next mouse we're going to talk about is the DeathAdder. You guys know I've been a long time DeathAdder user if you followed me, and I actually switched off this mouse, tried the Rival for a long time, then tried the ZA11, and then I tried the Final Mouse, and that's the mouse I'm sticking with. So you guys know I have a very good overview of this mouse. Now, first we'll start out just like we did with the others. Let's talk about what I don't like about it. The Frayed Cord. Can you guys see this? Yep. Starts fraying because of the thread. Yeah. Gotta get a new one every once in a while because of this shit, man. Causes friction. My dog hair gets all over this shit. It gets disgusting. Anyways, back to the mouse and the mouse properties. Mouse skates are rated 9 out of 10. There's the second best. Zowie first best. This second best. Final Mouse and Final Mouse third. Probably the Rival fourth, or maybe tied with third. Not sure. But anyways. Mouse wheel, I like the mouse wheel the most on it. Mouse 4 and 5 are good placement. Candy coating feel. It feels a lot like the Steelseries Rival, actually. It just has, my palm goes here. It goes up instead of over here for whatever reason. So anyways, the sensor, not as good as the Zowie and the Final Mouse, but it is a good sensor nonetheless. So it definitely has a good sensor. It's just not top of the industry type sensor. Mouse 1 gets a little bit too sensitive sometimes. Sometimes you'll accidentally click that, and sometimes the mouse wheel will randomly jump, which is a big issue. I hate that. Just being in a gun battle, mouse wheel randomly jumps. That's the worst. It's pretty comfortable. It has the grips over here, grips over here. You can get a little bit more sweaty using this mouse. Get that palm sweat going a little bit more than other mice after those long sessions. But it's a pretty good mouse. I definitely like it a lot. This is my second favorite mouse. And I'm going to rate it an 8.5, maybe 9 out of 10. I definitely like it a lot. I just wish it had the, just those minor changes, Those minor changes would definitely make it a lot better. But yeah, I've been I used this mouse for 5 years. So I think I know more than anybody about this mouse. But I just need to switch off of it because it just weighs a little bit too much, to be honest. I've been wanting to get into the lighter mice. And I started using the lighter mice, and I just like the lighter mice more now, man. Simple as that. I think the weight is a huge issue. And kind of a funny story is, well, I don't know if it's funny, but I think it's relevant, is that I get a massage once a month. And I've been doing it for like 6 months now. This lady, it's kind of hard to understand her. She doesn't speak much English, but anyways, she does like my hands and my wrists at the end, right? And she tells me every time that they're like I have so much tension and like they're so like bad, I guess, and shit like that. And she tells me every single time like how bad they are, and she spends like 15 minutes like massaging the crap out of it, right? And she just tells me how bad like my hands and my wrists are like tensed up and stuff like that. She says it's worse than like construction workers and like all these guys that do like manual labor all day. She's like, it's way worse. Like it's like by far the worst she ever deals with, right? And I've actually been, using the Final Mouse for like 3 weeks, and I actually went back, 3 to 4 weeks I've been using the Final Mouse, and I went back 2 days ago and had a massage, and she's like, it's gotten a lot better. I don't even know if that's relevant. I have no idea if it has to do with the mouse and having less weight, but I figured I would put that small, what's it called, anecdote or something like that, while talking about the mice. So next up, we're going to review the Zowie ZA11. I give the DeathAdder 8.5, 9 out of 10. Steelseries Rival 7.5, Final Mouse 9.5, or 9.0 out of 10. Now we're going to talk about the ZA11. All right, the last mouse we're going to talk about, and I have an issue with this mouse. Very similar to like the Steelseries Rival, and why I can't really use it. As far as the mouse is concerned, this mouse is great. Like, it feels fantastic. It doesn't have the threaded cord. The sensor is the same. It has the best mouse feet and mouse case. Look at those mouse feet, man. Look at them. They're fucking gigantic. They feel great. Yeah, I like this mouse a lot, but I hate the ergonomic design. Or not the ergonomic, the ambidextrous design. I hate it. So it has the candy coating like all over. I'm calling it candy coating. I have no idea what the industry term is for how they coat it. But anyways, it has mouse buttons on both sides, mouse 4 and mouse 5 on both sides. The sensor's great. The mouse feet are great. Mouse wheel's fine. I wish the mouse wheel was a little bit more sensitive and a little bit better. It definitely affects with my movement and my bunny hopping and things like that, in my opinion. So that's a little bit of a minus. But the main reason I can't use this mouse, and I wish I could, is because of how I have to grip it. My entire palm, bottom of my palm, right? The entire bottom of my palm is dragging across the mouse pad the entire time I'm playing, just causing that friction that I don't like. Just the entire time I'm playing, this whole area is hitting the mouse pad. I don't have that issue with the DeathAdder. I don't have that issue with the Final Mouse, and I don't have that issue with the Rival. The Rival, I have the issue where this goes underneath. But yeah, I just can't use the mouse because of that. This is the ZA11. This is the biggest mouse they have. I don't know what it is or how it would be to fix that, but my hand doesn't fit like all the way on it to do that. Maybe the mouse is too small for me. I don't exactly understand, but yeah, when I hold it, this whole area just gliding across the mouse pad. Dude, I can't game for long periods of times while this is just gliding across. So I rate this because of that like a 7 out of 10. I would rate it like, I don't know. If that didn't happen and had a better shape, I would love this mouse. I'll be honest, because the sensor is the same as the Final Mouse. The only other issue is that the mouse wheel. That's the only other thing I don't like. Anyways, that's my review for all 4 of these mice. To overview, Final Mouse I gave 9 out of 10. DeathAdder I gave 8.5 out of 10. Steelseries Rival I gave 7.5 out of 10. And the Zowie mouse I gave 7 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was somewhat informative. All these mice I've been using on the Zowie GSR. Thank you guys for watching. This has been DaZeD here, and peace out.